Hi everyone, it's Andrew Doherty here again with Waterford Harbour Tides and Tales. And this morning I'm up Ballycanvan Stream, or Pill. That's downriver towards the shore. You can see the port of Waterford in the distance. So as we're coming up a long winding narrow channel up to Ballycanvan and the old tidal salt water mills. Well, mill, which is in on the shore here. So that's the older part where the mill would have been based, I reckon. And then there's two other sections to it that were probably built afterwards. They're different styles and different stones, and they're not joined up. Anyway, I've written about it before. It's on private property, so I can't go in there. But I was lucky enough to get a tour of it before from the owner. And anyway, I'm not trying to tease you with stuff like that, but what I am interested in showing you is actually how the mill operated, because it was a tidal salt water mill, which meant it harnessed the salt water of the tide to run the mill wheel. And it's that I really wanted to show you this morning, and that's freely accessible if you have a boat and of a shallow enough draft to get up here. So I'm just going to row up that way now, just to give you a sense of how it actually operated, and I think you'll be really interested in it. Ballycanvan, of course, is on the Faithlake side, and then across the way it's Ballymacleod on the Waterford, the city side, and then the stream heads away off up there towards Jackmeads, the ever popular Jackmeads. Anyway, stay with me and we'll go look a bit more. Now, so we're back. Just after rowing up here a bit to get us up to the entrance, so you can see how it narrows here. So this is where the sluice gates operated. So what happened was, on the flood tide, so when the tide came in, the stream filled up with the tide, and at high water there was two sluice gates here, and they closed over to keep the water in, or to impound the water, just after hitting the side here. But I just wanted to show you, because some of the apparatus is still here. I don't know if you can see it properly with the sunlight. But down below there's some cut stone, which I think I'm just about to smack off of. And there's actually a timber post that was used on the mill wheel, or I beg your pardon, timber post that was used on the sluice to close over the gate. And then above this, well, the stream, as you can see, is still flowing up, way off up there towards Jackmeads. But the water was impounded and held back. And what happened then was, the tide turned and went out again, and when the stream was empty, the water that was held back here in the upper part was released back down through the mill to run the mill wheel. And I'm just going to pause this for another second and just show you the mill pond, because it's quite an elaborate mill pond inside here. Okay, I've just rowed another little small bit just to get a bit of momentum going, and you can see in here, this is the mill pond. So this would have all, I presume all, or some section of it was either dug out, or this particular piece here, this bank here, was built up by hand in order to create this system. But the water then would have held back, as I said, and then released back down through the mill in order to run the mill wheel. And obviously when it was dry then, it was just a case of opening the sluice gates, and the next flood tide the water would come back in, and if they wanted to, they could close over the sluice gates and repeat the operation. And these things, they would have been used, I suppose, when they were required, and if they weren't used, they could be the tide could be left to run as normal. But of course, it was also very useful for jack meads, because anyone that's ever visited the site will know that there's an abundance of lime kilns up there. There's also an ice house, and those were probably fed, or were fed, by lighters. So as you know, the lighters would have used the power of the tides in order to be able to move, and if that gate was closed off, that sluice gate was closed off, and the tide was held back, it wouldn't be moving. So it would be very easy to manoeuvre those lighters up to Jack Meads, and also to bring them back down here. So I know it was older times, but it was quite elaborate, and they were very very capable people, very knowledgeable people, the way they could harness the power of the tides in order to mill corn or transport goods and what have you. Just to say, the mill, the last recorded working at the mill was the 1850s, and it was then being used to break down fibre, clothing, to recycle fabric. So recycling, there you go. It's not a new concept. And of course, it was probably more popular, beg your pardon, not popular, but it probably stopped because there was a more advanced mill built up at Jack Meads, which is just across the road, and the remains of that can still be seen. And that was technologically more advanced for a number of different factors. And so this probably became redundant. So as I said, the last recordings of it that I could find anyway were around the 1850s when it was used for that purpose. Anyway, I'm not really interested in the mill per se, but I'm fascinated by how they used the power of the tides. Thanks very much. Bye bye now.